Oh, hey, how's it going? No, I'm just kidding. I was trying to think of something spontaneous right off as I was going on here. So, at any rate, thank you for joining me again. Some sad news today. We had our first fatality on the fire today up in Mendocino National Forest August complex fires. The big one being the Doe Fire, but there's a whole bunch of them. I wasn't really able to get a whole lot of information. Let's see here. Oops, we don't want that. We want this one. Sure. I tried finding some stuff out today, but this was all I was really able to find. And I find it kind of strange, but it is what it is. Facebook is what they're encouraging us to go for lots of information. And I do find they're putting a lot of information up on the Facebook page for Mendocino National Forest. But what caught my curiosity is, why is the California Highway Patrol involved? I don't know. I don't really know much about these situations. Maybe that's like who takes command in these things. I don't know. It's new to me, but that was kind of strange. The good news, though, I got. Here it is. I got this from a public information officer today. They've sent in approximately 200 U.S. Army soldiers that have been specifically trained to fight this fire, which is fantastic. That means we've got a whole lot more help on the front lines there. That's terrific. It's great news. Let's see, we've got, where did I put that in here? So many things to navigate. Here's some video he sent me of everybody getting off the bus. If you look closely, there's like bus after bus after bus. There's a whole, I mean, you gotta maintain social distancing, right?
No, you're good.
That's a whole lot of buses. So anyway, that's fantastic to know that we have some help coming in. I'm grateful because later on I was scrolling through a whole bunch of information after I got off work this evening and found, let's see here. I was watching this.
Some areas
sound?
north of the Sugar Spring campground.
Where he's talking, and make sure this is still playing over the desktop too. Yeah, this should both be playing. He's talking about how the fire is burning
areas just to the east of Smith Camp.
To the north of Sugar Springs.
And then also the Hall Fire.
Well, you talk about north of Sugar Spring. That's where I have this video here. It's like, no! Because I've been to so many of these places lately. It's almost hard to keep track, but some of them really stick out in your mind, and the view sticks out in your mind. And when they talk about to the north of this, there's really only one thing to the north of this. That's a valley and another ridge line, and it's a long way off. Let's see if we can scroll through to get the view from right there. There it is. Look at that. So that's to the north. He said to the north it's burning. Now granted, there's two ridge lines. Maybe I'm going to think positively. Maybe it's talking about the ones way off in the distance. I don't know. But if you want to know what I think when I see that stuff, that's what I'm thinking about. All these places in the video. I'm grateful that I have video footage of all these different locations before they burned. I just feel grateful that we that's now in my archives. I can fall back on that and go, yes, this is what it used to look like, and at some point be able to do a comparison. Maybe if I'm lucky, I could do one in every 10 years. Let's see what this place looks like. Here's what it looked like before it burned. We're doing a whole lot of research on fire ecology and what happens after a forest fire, and it's been rather impressive. I never really thought about like wiping out invasive species. It's obvious now. Wiping out insects and disease and fungus? Okay. I mean, not to say that it's extinct now, but it's probably been removed from that ecology right there. I never would have thought of that before, so that was cool. And then I also we've been learning about, was it the, I'm already forgetting the scientific name, the pine cone, serotinous. The study of serotiny, of pine cones, as an example, that only open during a certain environmental scenario. So like high heat fire, humidity or temperature, they only open during those. So some pine cones just open and just drop their seedlings on the ground, but there are those that can hang in the tree for multiple years, and then when they do fall to the ground, they can still survive for many years before they open up and release their seeds, unless this environmental factor that they're designed to do happens, in which case they open up. I had no idea. That's fantastic. So it's been an interesting study, that's for sure. So we'll go back over here. If you haven't seen it yet, I've done, so you've seen this one. This is the most recent forest order, or forest closure order. I did a live stream of this real in depth the other day to kind of sum it up. So there's two, so if I may be so advanced, for lack of a better word, I would reference both of the previous one and the current one. The current one I would use for Exhibit B, I believe it is. Yes, Exhibit B, because that's the verbiage, the wording of the boundary area, what's closed and where you're allowed to be and what you're not allowed to be. But the map on here is, all due respect, it's really bad. Really, really bad. When you go to zoom in, like this isn't too bad, but when you go to zoom in at all, it gets real noisy and pixely real quick. So all I can guess it was taken with a cell phone, I don't know. But anyway, you need this verbiage, so the link is in the description if you need it. But this map from the previous one, the previous closure order, this is a real detailed map. I like this one. This one's good. So link to both is in the description. And I'm still not used to viewing it in this kind of manner. The one thing that I want to point out though is that they talk about the M1 north of M61 is the forest is closed on the east side of the M1, so that means that this section of the M1 is open within the National Forest. Now if you come and look over here, it says the M1 until the forest boundary. That's right here. But you look, you go out and through here, oops, don't need that. But the M1 comes back into the forest, exits, goes back in, exits, back in, and then exits again. But if you look on this map here, there's a side road. And I did check this on Google, and it does appear to be active. You can take this Etzel Ridge Road. You can cross FH7, or go FH7 and cross this bridge, and then take this road right up in here. We'll zoom out some more. Take this road to circumvent these little sections in here that are actually re-entering the forest, because those are north of where the M1 intersect. There it is. North of where the M1 intersects with the National Forest boundary, where it intersects there, it just says, it just goes north along the boundary. So that would mean these you can't enter in. But, so if you want to go hunting and find some place in the National Forest, there's probably no one in there, except for my viewers. You can take this little section of road through here that's not in the National Forest, pick the M1 back up, and you're in the golden, because it says right in here, let's scroll down, let's see here, M61 then continues north along the east side of Forest Road number M, Mike, Mountain Highway 1, to its intersection with the forest boundary. So it continues north along the east side. We covered this in the, I covered this in depth in the another live stream. So you're good until right here. So you have to take this bypass road. So again, if you really want to get in there, that's how you're going to get in there. And you are, according to that, the writing there, you're within your rights to go do that. So enjoy. Just stay safe. Let's see. Oops, didn't want to close that one. So that's okay. We'll just go like this. We'll reopen it in here. Again, use this forest order closure for its text, but use the map and the other one. They're both in there. So Cal Topo, real good resource. Thanks, Eric. Now I'm gonna let it load. So let's give you some perspective of what's going on in the National Forest right now. So the SCU complex fire, which is the bigger one by Lake Berryessa, 391,150 acres, 72% contained as of 6:46 p.m. I'm on CAL FIRE's website right now. I'm next to the LNU, so that one, it would be 375,259 acres, 69% contained as of 3:38 p.m. Those are big. So, but when you go over to the Cal Topo map, let's see, I'm in Windsor, so I'm in here, about in the middle of these maps. Is it actually going to say Windsor? No, not really. Well, I'm down in, oh yeah, here we go. Make sure I'm saying the right place here. Yeah, so we got Windsor down in here, Healdsburg up in there. There's not many hot spots. This is looking really good for me. A fire that was even more west of me is looking really good. I did see some little chimneys of smoke coming up today on my way home from Santa Rosa, off in the distance. But then when we go out and we come up to the Mendocino National Forest, here, oh god, I mean that's a lot of hot spots that are still burning. Still burning. So anyway, as of tonight, I forget, just within the last few hours, we're up to 242,941 acres as of today burned. Yesterday we had 234,485 acres burned. That's a difference of 8,456 acres burned in the last 24 hours. To give you a little bit more perspective, that's if you take the Mendocino National Forest is 913,306 acres total. So if you take those figures into the amount burned, you're at 26% of the forest has burned in the last, I don't know how many days. I think it's just under 2 weeks, right? Since the lightning storm. Let's go with 2 weeks. 26%, and we're not even, let's see, we're just touching September. We still have October, November. That's a lot. It's a whole lot. And it's still going. Fortunately, we have an additional 200 personnel on the line. Sadly, again, because of COVID, we're not able to bring in, the good behavior prisoners. Can't bring them in. That's a bummer. But it is what it is, right? It's nature. I would advise you to stay tuned. I have been working real closely with the public information officer to try and get more information about what's going on the inside. With COVID going on, they're not even, from when I talked to him today, he said they're not even letting people into camp because of COVID. So there's not much information really going around. I watched something on ABC 7 News earlier today. Let me switch this camera view back. On ABC 7 News today, and they basically read the Facebook post. Wow, that's some good information. So I'm trying real hard, but I'm being really patient with them. I'm trying real hard because I want to get in so that I can see what's going on, but also share with you what's going on. But one thing at a time. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be a pain, and I don't want to be where I'm not supposed to be or where I'm in the way. Speaking of footage that I'm grateful to have, so let's see, I think it was the last camping trip I did, end of July. We had a little hiatus there. We stopped at the Rattlesnake Fire Memorial for the firefighters, and we did a whole bunch of drone shots and whatnot. Well, sadly though, that is now burnt. So I don't know that the memorial itself was mostly stone and metal, so I hope it's okay. But the crosses themselves that were out across the way are likely burned. But let me just show you a teaser of what we filmed and what we're editing and going to be launching very soon. So I believe it's this one here. Hopefully you can see the crosses up there on the hill. From where I'm standing, I count 1, 2, 3.